Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/ask Reddit by Planet Reddit. Therapists of Reddit. What are things normal people consider crazy or taboo but are actually very good coping mechanisms? Thinking out loud. If you are feeling stress when trying to go through a process or a problem, talk it out. You'll find yourself getting to the answer quicker and staying calmer. This is related to mindfulness. Taking an objective third-person point of view lets you rationally analyze the situation in order to find logical solutions. I think that's why you regularly see pro athletes talk to themselves. Laughing, joking in inappropriate or upsetting situations. It is often a reaction of the brain essentially trying to protect itself from whatever it is experiencing. While it can appear insensitive or unsettling from the outside, British and French humor often go that way. It works great to communicate an important idea without getting everyone upset, but to unused outsiders, it sounds mean. Unused outsiders. Talking to inanimate objects is totally normal, so long as they don't talk back. Could you please give examples of this? The amount of detail you give to that onion is unnerving. Singing loudly to yourself when experiencing sudden overwhelming emotion. I do this internally when I get an intrusive thought or cringy memory. Remember that time in 7th grade when I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? I could hear this post so clearly I almost spat out my coffee. Stating your emotions. For example, I'm feeling really angry right now. Or I feel confused and scared. IDKY people often seem to get all awkward and don't know how to respond to this. Asking someone about their emotional state is also taboo. When it helps so much, they often don't answer what you thought they would and you get to better handle future interactions. I have a workmate who says, "How are you?" You say fine. Then he says, "How are you really?" Got me a few times. Just crying. A lot. Also good question. Hope it gets to the top. Oh good. Glad I'm coping well with everything then. Cool. Talking to yourself. Out loud and in a monologue. It's not crazy or weird at all. I do it in sing-song when appropriate. Or as appropriate as singing aloud can be. Which is a bit odd. But in no way psychotic. Also hyping yourself up. It's great. You should try it. Thank God. Sometimes I just need to listen to myself to figure out if I make sense. Slightly related. There's the duck method in programming, where you explain your problem step by step to a rubber ducky. Just explaining it helps you find problems you might otherwise have missed. Dyeing your hair is a healthy expression of control. When you're feeling powerless or like you're spiraling, it's a great way of reminding yourself you are in control of something. Not a therapist, just a psych student. Whoever makes fun of someone for making a change doesn't respect that person's capacity to meaningfully decide. I feel like this also applies to tattoos and piercings. I'm a tattoo artist and I've noticed a lot of people tend to come to us when they are experiencing some kind of stress or upheaval in their lives, especially right after a breakup or death. I have repeat clients that I can almost count on to disappear when things are going well in their lives and return when they take a downward turn. Talking to yourself. It's healthy to do as long as you know what you're doing and can help with memories. A lot of people use it as a sign of going mad, but I disagree and I also happen to agree with me on this. Not a therapist, just had them tell me this. And I also happen to agree with me on this. That's all the credibility I needed. Well, he's not wrong. Man shrugging. I.e. talking to an imaginary therapist in your head. Look at me. I'm the therapist now. What the heck? I do this and thought I was crazy. Edit. It's not always therapists. Sometimes the people I know IRL or celebrate CTC. I'm surprised no one has said stimming yet. Obligatory, not a therapist. Stimming is fine. There's no shame in it. Most people do it without knowing they're doing it. There's also nothing wrong with having a comfort item, like a stim cube in your purse, a stress ball on your desk, or being 35 plus year with a teddy bear on your bed. Doesn't matter. Self-comfort is valid. A teddy bear is certainly better than a bottle of whiskey, for the 10th time in a row. Stimming also isn't solely something related to autistic folk. I have severe OCD and tics because of it. Learned through my therapist that having something in my hand like those little cubes helps my tics a lot. Seems like there are a lot of Reddit therapists here, but not a lot of therapists on Reddit. We're here, lurking. I've skimmed lots, but everything looks good to me. The video gaming TV DVD can be good, can be bad as a temporary distraction technique. It can be good as a long-term coping mechanism. It is less good. Dark humor. Humor in general is a very good coping mechanism. Last week, the last words my aunt said to me were, "See you later." Haha. The rest of my family got quiet and thought her mind was starting to be affected. But I got the joke. Cancer killed her less than 8 hours after that. I found dark humor helped me a bit earlier this month when having a miscarriage. When we arrived at the hospital I started singing "It's a Great Day for a Miscarriage." I think I wanted to make myself laugh. Join our community Discord, link in description. Not necessarily taboo, but I think deleting all social medias helps astronomically. It lets you get back to who you are. Even Reddit people are so used to seeing bad news, depressing things. Having a week or so break about not caring or worrying about world issues is so beneficial. Try it. I feel like I am always caught between wanting to stay informed and not wanting that constant stream of bad news. I am sure that feeling is not unique to me. Playing video games. Social media and television use, but not video games, predict depression and anxiety in teens. Suggests a new study. N equals 3659. Grades 7 to 10. Gaming has become more of a social activity, with the average gamer no longer socially isolated, and more than 70% of gamers playing games with a friend. This is from 6 months back. Video games definitely require the user to be more active than any other medium. It really depends. When I come from work tired I put on some Dragon Quest or some Minecraft just to relax and have no worries. Competitive gaming can burn you out a lot though. Masturbation. Great stress relief. My favorite form of stress relief. I don't know why there's all this stigma around girls masturbating, though. Makes no sense to me. It's because men are jealous they can only orgasm once every 30 minutes. One thing is stimming for autistic people. Some think it should be avoided when really it's for self-soothing. I've realized some of the habits I've developed are stimming, so it applies to ADHD too. Anxiety too. You're essentially comforting yourself. Counting out loud. If you see someone sitting in public just counting out loud seemingly randomly, 1234, 123,456, 12, 1234. They might appear crazy, but it's actually a useful way to curb oncoming anxiety attacks. When you feel anxiety rising, sit down. Look around and count how many blue things you can see, how many red things, yellow and so on. It's an effective distraction and calming technique that also works for small children who may be becoming overwhelmed. We have a weird habit in my house. We all have some manner of anxiety about other people being angry, so we check in if we're feeling insecure. It does require being honest with each other, but a simple "Are you mad at me?" can make so many worries go away. Therapist says it's a very good coping mechanism. It certainly addresses the problem and dissipates it quickly. Crying. None of these responses are from therapists LOL, but some have merit. A long while ago, back when I was still going through my undergrad, my biological father contacted me for the first time in my life. I had always knew he existed, but the day I saw his message sent to me online, I lost complete control over my emotions. I'd be completely normal one moment, then find myself uncontrollably crying my eyes out, and this would repeat multiple times throughout the day. I remember halfway through my exam, I just broke down but managed to finish the test while having the emotional breakdown. My girlfriend at the time had bought a stuffed shark from IKEA and left it in my room. Randomly one day, I picked him up from the floor and hugged him while saying out loud how I felt. I found expressing myself to the stuffed animal to be extremely relieving, especially since I didn't have to speak clearly or explain myself through my sobbing. Sometimes I would just mumble sad, so sad while hugging the shark, and felt as though he knew what I meant because he could hear my thoughts. I named him Bo and still sleep with him every night years later. As strange as it sounds, I'll stuff him in my duffel bags when I have to travel and genuinely feel like I have a friend with me wherever I go. Not a therapist, but 12-15 shots of vodka nightly seems to help me tremendously. Making your bed in the morning. I'm not a therapist, but after doing this myself and encouraging about 50 people to do the same, and following up with them later, I can tell you it makes a world of a difference. Get 8 hours of sleep, be up before 9:30 am, and make your bed. Oh, and going on a morning walk if weather permits is super good too. I'm telling you, it's ridiculously simple but works miracles on your life. Would you call that crazy, or just taboo? Somebody should have used the serious tag, oopsie poopsie. NAT, but I used to always take off from people's houses, parties, social gatherings without saying goodbye and not feeling guilty. BC, it allowed me for a second to feel like I had power over social anxiety. I never apologized for this power. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for 3 videos a day.